In this latest episode of Doctor Who, Doctor... Wait, hold on. Need a insult. Hold on. Wait a sec. Dr. Ornery? Yeah, let's go with that. Dr. Ornery and other people encounter the Weeping Angels. This is a clear move of desperation. It's not 2011 anymore. We're not going to get excited if you throw a Weeping Angel in front of us. They already went the same way as the Alien trilogy. The first one took us completely by surprise. It was like nothing we'd ever seen before. The second added in more of the threat, also threw in some troops to match it and was a bit more actiony. And the third, it's a bit shit, but it brought a fitting end to at least one character that we've been invested in. If this pattern does continue, I'm afraid that renders Village of Angels the equivalent to... It probably came as a surprise to no one to find out that Maxine Alderton was getting a Weeping Angel episode. They're a hard concept to get to work without Stephen Moffat penning a script, and yet they're probably the most famous Doctor Who monster outside of the Daleks these days. Taking the writer who wrote the gothic horror episode last season that everyone seemed to like, and handing them the Weeping Angels, does track. It's not too dissimilar to Mind Warp from the 80s. The team was struggling to get Colin Baker to work as a dark, untrustworthy Doctor, so they took the writer who wrote seemingly the best love episode of the last season and just handed him the concept that they screwed up. I took the Angels jumping out the phone and the video game last week as a really good sign that they weren't just going to do a rehash of Blink, because that would have been really easy. But no, they're sticking with the rules that Moffat established in the Matt Smith era, which makes sense. Chris was around for those seasons. The result is, like War of the Sontarans, this is something of a best hits reel. We've got the Angels jumping out of screens, they're inside the mind of a human, like Amy was in Flesh and Stone, and they are stealing voices to sort of give them a kind of sadistic personality. Again, Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone. We get all of this with a nice bit of spit and polish in the special effects department. We've got stuff like the angel wings on Claire's back, the image of an angel being on fire, drawings coming to life, the angels manipulating technology, using the lie detector to draw an angel. All really solid stuff. What follows is a vital warning. A friend of mine, say hi, a friend of mine, decided to make the egregious mistake of watching a TV show with a female lead. You see, when you watch a 50-minute block of television featuring female characters, you've technically been staring at a woman for an unreasonable length of time. This leads every man in England open to being accused of sexual harassment and immediately cancelled and never seen again. Remember, the image of an agenda is itself an agenda. We do get some new rules added to the Angels. They can only send you back in time once. Second time, you'll turn to dust. Rory was actually quite lucky in hindsight, it turns out. And they, like seemingly everyone in this universe, work for the Division. This organization was clearly not very picky in its hiring practices. This episode's probably going to require repeat viewings to make sure everything tracks. For example, if the Weeping Angel who hijacked the TARDIS was after the Doctor the whole time, why was she after Yaz in the Time Storm last episode? That said, that was a really good cliffhanger, probably the best of Whittaker's era. Like that imagery of her turning into an angel. I don't think that image would have worked quite so well with any of the other Doctors. Not everything's perfect. Because of the cliffhanger, we're dealing with the angels from the start. Whereas with Haunting, Cyberman doesn't even show up till like halfway through. And while Mary Shelley's definitely sidelined it in Haunting, especially compared to the Silver Turk, they did still give her like some character. We saw she had a fascination, with horror. Like she got really excited by it. Whereas here, the characters are mostly driven by their performances. Though avoiding historical characters does help Alderton avoid some of the dodgy messaging that Haunting kind of fell into. What if we had conspiracy theories that could think for themselves? What if, one day, our toxicity no longer needed us? When these things occur and are held to be true, the time will be upon us. The time of angels. Thank you for watching. If you'd care to leave a like, comment, share, hit the notification bell, continue tolerating, justify watching this to yourself at night, that would be greatly appreciated. Have a nice evening.